Right now, we're taking a look at how local businesses are being impacted by the coronavirus. Plus, the U.S. Air Force says Madison is their preferred spot for their F-35 jets, what lawmakers are doing to try and prevent it.
And the weekend is almost here. We just have to get through some pretty strong winds yet this morning. All of your full forecasts coming up in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It is Friday, March 6th. I'm Josh Freiter. Lee is on vacation. Right now, the DHS says there are 14 pending cases of coronavirus here in Wisconsin. Doctors say the overall risk here is still low. However, there are certain groups who can be hit harder if the spread continues. Assisted living communities in the Madison area, including Coventry Village, Attic Angel Community, and Brookdale Senior Center, or Senior Living rather, all say they're following CDC and World Health Organization guidelines and are preparing for possible scenarios where coronavirus spreads.
We want to keep them informed and make sure they understand how it spread, how we watch for signs and symptoms, and how to answer the questions that families may bring up to them.
The chief quality officer at UW Health says older people have a higher risk of having coronavirus or having a more severe case of it. They say the overall risk is still low.
Don't think anyone needs to panic, and we're taking all the necessary steps to prepare for any scenario, whether it's a small number of patients, a medium number of patients, or a full-blown pandemic.
UW Health has received approximately 100 calls since a hotline to answer questions about the coronavirus began Wednesday. Local businesses are taking action to help prevent the spread of the viruses. Fitness centers like Bar 3 are increasing their cleaning practices, wiping down the bar and props after each class. The owner says they're doing that in addition to bleaching surfaces and props weekly. Burn Boot Camp locations are taking similar precautions, increasing cleaning frequency and the availability of hand sanitizer and disinfectant wipes.
And with the current fear of coronavirus coming in, it's important for us to keep our members safe and for them to be able to still have a place to work out.
Burn Boot Camp's owner says finding hand sanitizer has been a challenge with extremely inflated prices and her current supplier out of stock. In an effort to keep high-in-demand items in stock, Pick and Save says that they will now be limiting the number of cold and flu-related items sold in each order. The company says those products are limited to 5 items per customer. But if you're skipping the store making your own sanitizer, one spirit maker is asking that you don't use their product. Tito's Handmade Vodka says their liquor does not meet the CDC's required alcohol level to sanitize. The CDC says effective hand sanitizer needs at least 60% alcohol. Tito's, though, is only 40%. Tito's and the CDC both recommend washing your hands as the best method to get rid of germs. Since Tito's won't get the job done for you, the Environmental Protection Agency is releasing a 6-page list of disinfectant products they say will get the job done against coronavirus. Brands on that list include Clorox, Lysol, Sterilex. They say that the coronavirus is one of the easiest types of viruses to kill if you have the proper cleaning products. You can find a full list of approved products up right now on the EPA's website. The ongoing outbreak is causing mortgage rates to hit a new low this morning. The average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage fell to a record 3.29% this week. It's the lowest level in nearly 50 years. Experts say the drop makes it a good time to buy a home, but financial planners say those who already own one may want to look at the impact of refinancing their current property. This comes as the Federal Reserve announced an emergency rate cut earlier this week, slashing the benchmark interest rate down to just over 1%. 70 of the 233 cases of coronavirus in the U.S., that's about 30%, can be found in Washington state. 51 of those cases are in King County, home to the state's most densely populated area. Residents in Seattle say as the illness spreads, working from home is their new normal.
We've had our normal conference calls, we're going on your typical day-to-day work life. You just typically spend it over video chat or phone calls rather than face-to-face.
Many businesses in that city have only a few essential employees coming into work. Public health officials recommend teleworking be added to the mayor's declaration of a civil emergency. CBS This Morning is dedicating a special hour this morning to address coronavirus concerns. The program will focus on what we know, where we're headed, and highlight the economic, personal, and cultural impact the outbreak is having in America and around the world. That starts at 7 right after News 3 Now this morning. All right, time right now is 6:04, and if you haven't stepped outside right now, it's a little windy out there, Hattie.
Just a little bit. Maybe you're hearing it outside your window. I heard the winds howling all night at my house. Was able to collect some peak wind gust reports, mainly from southwestern Wisconsin, but you can see the numbers at the La Crosse Airport. Peak wind gusts 46 miles an hour over the last 24 hours. Around 40 miles an hour in Platteville and Viroqua, close to 40 in New Lisbon. Mauston peaked out with a wind gust at 32 miles an hour. So you get the idea. It's been very windy for the area. Now that wind advisory, though, as mentioned, was allowed to expire at 6 a.m. for southeastern Wisconsin, so no more wind advisories in effect for the area. We'll see improving conditions. Winds are still rather strong from the north-northwest. We're looking at a 15 to 25 mile an hour wind across southern Wisconsin. Some of those wind gusts are still in the 30 to almost 40 mile an hour range, but those will be diminishing over the next couple of hours. Here's a look at your future track wind speeds. Again, these are sustained wind speeds around 20 miles an hour as you head to work and school this morning. By the lunch hour, those wind speeds are going to be decreasing, and it improves even more for the afternoon with very light winds for the afternoon hours. Combine that with some sunshine, and it should feel like a pretty nice day. Speaking of that sunshine, we have high pressure building in from the north and west. That's really going to clear out the clouds. We are already seeing some clearing taking place in Platteville and the rest of southwestern Wisconsin, so that clearing trend will continue across the state. Your Metro Futurecast for this afternoon has a high of 38 degrees, a little bit cooler than yesterday. Those north winds, though, will not be a factor this afternoon. Your extended forecast still on track for a nice warm-up for the weekend. 50s on Saturday, sunshine and 60s on Sunday. Don't forget, daylight saving time begins Sunday morning, so we turn those clocks ahead 1 hour. It'll be light much later than when you get to Sunday afternoon. Decidedly spring-like as we head through next week. More raindrops in that extended forecast than snowflakes. Looks like our highs will at least be in the 40s. Let's take a look at your first warn traffic maps now for southern Wisconsin. No major issues in and around Dane County. Good winter driving conditions. Those winds, though, will be impacting the east-west roads the most this morning. So if you're driving a high-profile vehicle, keep that in mind. Nothing else to slow you down, though, at this hour.
Yeah, you're going to have 2 hands on the wheel today for sure.
For sure. Yeah, at least it gets a little better this afternoon.
All right, Hattie, thank you. Mike Bloomberg may be out of the running for president, but that doesn't mean he's done trying to beat President Trump. Bloomberg says he's now funding an anti-Trump operation in 6 battleground states, including Wisconsin. It's unclear how his organization will operate if Joe Biden is not the nominee, as aides to Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders say they wouldn't want Bloomberg's help. A California judge is striking down presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard's lawsuit against Google. The Gabbard campaign sued the company last year for infringing on her right to free speech when Google suspended her campaign's ad account. The Democratic candidate's campaign sought $50 million in damages. A judge said the campaign failed to argue how her freedom of speech was limited. All right, 6:07 is your time. Many UW-Madison students will get their first chance to vote for a presidential candidate in just about a month, and the campus is already gearing up for it. Christina Laurie is live from Library Mall this morning to explain. Christina, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh. It all starts with Voter Palooza today here on Library Mall. Students can register to vote either here, down at Union South, or on the East Campus Mall. Now, organizers say the purpose of Voter Palooza is to not only sign up students to vote, but to get them energized, mobilized as well, build on the momentum from the midterms to reach even higher voter turnout this April. Wisconsin has an open primary, meaning you don't have to be affiliated with a political party to vote like you have to in some states. Here in Wisconsin, you can just choose your preferred Democratic or Republican candidate on Election Day. The University of Wisconsin is once again taking part in the Big Ten Voting Challenge, too, competing against other Big Ten rivals for the best voter turnout and the most improved turnout in the November 3rd general election. Wisconsin took home second in the Big Ten in 2018, falling only to Minnesota, so this year they are out for redemption. But first, students need to register to vote. That is happening again today from 11:30 until 3:30 here on Library Mall. You will need to bring a few things with you in order to register. You'll need an ID and a proof of residence. That goes for anyone who needs to register to vote. And if you're unsure of your registration status, you can head to our website. I put a link where you just type in your first name, your last name, your birthday. I did it for myself yesterday. It is super easy and very important. Josh.
Christina Laurie live from campus this morning. Christina, thank you. Members of the Dane County Board of Supervisors say they're putting up a new resolution that would oppose the F-35 jets coming to Madison. That resolution was introduced by several members representing the north and east sides. This comes as the Air Force released its environmental impact statement, which confirmed Madison as the preferred site for the jets last month.
I'm very concerned by this threat to our community by placing loud fighter jets in a dense urban area. It's not appropriate.
The resolution is still circulating for additional co-sponsors, so no votes were cast on it. 10 minutes past 6 o'clock now on a Friday morning, and we are warming up just in time for the weekend as we take a live look outside. Coming up, Patty will tell us just how warm those temps could get. Plus, the recovery continues this morning after the Tennessee tornadoes. We'll show you how one business is helping people recover what they've lost when we come back.
Skintelligent is a skin balancing system enriched with probiotic technology. Skintelligent, the smart solution to healthy-looking, radiant skin. Free beauty picks with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products.
It's the SUV for all you love, the 2020 Subaru Forester at Don Miller. Get the Forester Advantage with Subaru EyeSight Driver Assist technology and blind spot detection with rear cross traffic alert. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, lease the Forester Premium $269 per month plus tax. 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, $1969 due at signing. No security deposit. The Forester all-wheel drive plus MPG. Don Miller Subaru, West on Odana or East Side, High Crossing Boulevard, Madison.
Don Miller.
Whoa, that doesn't sound good.
I know. I worry every time I have to stop. I really need a brake inspection.
It's free at Meineke.
Did you say free?
Meineke will examine your brakes thoroughly to make sure you're safe to be on the road for free. And if they do find any problems, they'll give you a written estimate for repairs. No surprises.
Wow, free and convenient.
Join the Meineke Rewards program to earn points for the dollars you spend. Receive double points for select brake services. Go to Meineke.com to sign up today.
It's time to spring forward and embrace the longer, brighter days ahead. It's also the time to get your home improvement projects going with 33% off windows, siding, and doors at BuildCo. Plus, no interest until 2021. Kickstart your season, save some serious cash, and let the good times roll. BuildCo, improving lives, one home at a time.
33% off ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for BuildCo.
Spend more time on your health, not your drive to the gym. Anytime Fitness has 40 area locations, so they're close to home and work. Get more strength training, more cardio, and more coaching at Anytime Fitness. Now, get a 2-week membership at Anytime Fitness for just $2.
I love to equal the playing field. I love to help people and allow them to feel like they are powerful instead of powerless. We're with our clients every step of the way.
Gingras, Thompson, and Walks.
It's so good to see you. I missed the reunion, but these are for you.
Is she a relative?
She pretends to be so she can get our employee discount.
But during the Steinhoffel's employee family price sale, everyone gets the same discount that we get.
Yeah, I should probably tell her.
It's Steinhoffel's employee family price sale where everyone pays what we pay. Get 40% on the largest selection of the best brands at the best prices. It's Steinhoffel's employee family price sale.
We cannot tell her.
Nope.
Merle Norman Skintelligent is a skin balancing system enriched with probiotic technology. Skintelligent, the smart solution to healthy-looking, radiant skin. Free beauty picks with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products.
We're back on the air now with breaking news this morning out of North Africa. Media in that country of Tunisia is reporting a suicide bomber has set off an explosion near the U.S. Embassy. The AP says at least 5 police officers were injured. Now, this is a developing story, and we'll continue to update you as soon as we learn more. Governor Evers has passed a new bill into law that will create 12 new circuit court branches in our state. The governor's office says this is the first addition of branches to the circuit court since 2010 and the largest addition in more than 2 decades. The branches will be placed 4 at a time on a rolling basis for terms beginning on August 1st in 2021, 22, and 23.
As many of you know, our courts and our legal systems across the state are stretched thin, to say the least, trying to meet the needs of their communities.
Evers says the new branches will be assigned by a judge on a need-by-need basis. A Janesville teen will serve jail time after being found guilty of sexual assault. 18-year-old Zachary Russell was sentenced at Rock County Court. He was facing prison time, but the judge felt that was too harsh for the 18-year-old, ordering him instead to the Rock County Jail for a year.
I do take heed of some of the recommendations from the so-called experts, like Dr. Tyre, who talk about the potential danger that is created when we send low-level low-risk individuals into high-risk environments like prisons. But I think it's important for you to understand, sir, that prison is hanging over your head in a very real way.
Russell will serve time for crimes committed when he was 16 years old. The former Janesville Craig student assaulted 2 teenage girls during separate incidents, one inside the high school library, the others at the girls' homes. In Green Bay, an Indiana man who federal prosecutors say walked and hitchhiked 351 miles to have sex with a minor is pleading guilty in federal court. 32-year-old Tommy Lee Jenkins is charged with 1 count of attempted child enticement. He faces 10 years to life when he is sentenced in May. Police say Jenkins was instant messaging a Winnebago sheriff deputy who was posing as a 14-year-old girl from Neenah. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Jenkins made numerous requests for the girl to join him in Indiana before he made the trek to Wisconsin. He was arrested in Winnebago County on October 10th. Harvey Weinstein is being moved this morning from Bellevue Hospital in Manhattan to the infirmary unit at Rikers Island. He has been at the hospital since his conviction on February 24th. His publicist says the 67-year-old had a heart procedure yesterday, during which doctors inserted a stent. He is still waiting for his sentencing, which is scheduled for March 11th. 6:16 is your time right now, and recovery efforts continue this morning in Tennessee after 8 tornadoes tore through that state earlier this week. At least 25 people were killed, including 6 children. Hundreds of structures were either damaged or completely destroyed. Those tornadoes had barely left when volunteers began stepping forward to help just hours after the tornado hit the Nashville neighborhood. Aaron Opria started a GoFundMe page that has since raised over $30,000. Celebrities who call Tennessee home are also pitching in with relief efforts. Taylor Swift says she is donating $1 million to the relief efforts. Swift announced her donation in a post on Instagram, where she also shared a link to the Middle Tennessee Emergency Response Fund. Justin Timberlake also made posts to Instagram sharing 3 ways anyone can help with that recovery. One cafe in that state is taking a different approach to help people gain back what they've lost. Soul Craft Coffee is collecting pictures found blowing in the wind, separated from their homes in the storms, in hopes that they can be reunited with their owners.
Just wanted to have a box here that people could come and look and sort through and see if they can find their family photos. We can't rebuild their homes. You know, we can't bring their family back, but we can do these little things.
We're told they're finding photos everywhere, even some from several towns over. All right, it is 6:17. Hattie's here now with our forecast. Hi, Hattie.
Good morning, Josh. Well, we are looking forward to a very nice weekend here across southern Wisconsin. The upper air weather pattern has been such this week that the warm air is confined to the western part of the United States. That's where there's a ridge of high pressure. That jet stream sinks southward right across Wisconsin, allowing that colder Canadian air to move into Wisconsin. Well, as we go over the next 24 hours, we're going to see a shift in that upper air weather pattern. That ridge of high pressure will translate to the east, which means we get to have warmer temperatures moving into our area. And we're going to see a significant warm-up as we go through the weekend. Heading into next week, we're also going to tap into that Gulf Coast moisture as well. So here's a look at your weekend forecast. Today, not quite as warm. 38 is right about normal for this time of the year, though. Lots of sunshine for the next 3 days. South winds will kick in both Saturday and Sunday. That'll help boost temperatures quite a bit. It's also going to really do a number on that snowpack here in southern Wisconsin. About 4 inches of snow on the ground here in the Madison area, but by the end of the weekend, probably a lot less. And if you're getting excited for those warmer temperatures and warmer weather, the grillcast for this weekend looking excellent. I predict that many people will be firing up the grill this weekend. Coming up, you may want to locate the rain gauge. We do have quite a bit of rain in the forecast as we head into next week.
All right, Hattie, thank you. Wisconsin's melting snow might make a lot of us excited for spring, but for many Wisconsin industries, it's just a reminder of the impact that our changing climate has on our future. Maple syrup brings in about $7 million to our state every year. In order to get a good maple syrup season, farmers say they need freezing nights and above freezing days. But winters are warming and spring is getting here sooner. And if this trend continues, producers won't be able to make as much syrup, and you will be, in the end, paying more for it.
If we do continue to see these trends of warmer temperatures, it will shorten the window of sap flow.
Financial experts say the economy will be hard hit as the weather continues to have a negative effect on some of Wisconsin's most profitable industries. Cranberries, a $1 billion industry, also faces an uncertain future. So does the fishing industry, as certain fish can no longer survive in some lakes due to rising temperatures. All right, it is 6:20 right now. Daylight saving time is this weekend. Coming up, we'll tell you what else you should be doing when it rolls around to help keep your family safe. Also ahead in our next half hour, we're looking at more into how hospitals are preparing for the coronavirus as it spreads across the country. Stay with us.
Cobeson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobeson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobeson.com to apply.
Celebrate Ashley Home Store's 75th anniversary with the ultimate sale. We're throwing the ultimate party so you can save up to 55% off dozens of doorbusters throughout the store, including living rooms, bedrooms, and more. Then get the ultimate party favor. Take an additional 10% off our sale prices, plus 3 years financing with no interest charges. Plus, save big on sleep with the very best mattress deals on the best brands. Ultimate deals, ultimate selection, ultimate style. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Okay then, why do professional builders and remodelers choose nuns? Appears to be reason number 307, which must be that folks really appreciate the expert help of a nun's designer. Oh. And at the big box store, expert help might not be available. So why should you choose nuns? Yeah, isn't it obvious? Nuns, kitchen, bath, and flooring.
When being sick isn't as bad as not knowing why you're sick.
When questions lead to confusion.
And angst and anxiety. When it feels like there's a tiger chasing you into the darkness.
And all you want is a little light.
A little hope.
This is when you need the best of the best. Doctors who don't just perform cutting-edge procedures and treatments. Doctors who invent them. UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
The all-new Silverado HD adds to the legendary capability of the strongest, most advanced Silverados ever. With best-in-class camera technology and larger, more functional beds than any competitor, the only truck that can compare to a Silverado is another Silverado.
Truck Month is the right time to get behind the wheel of the Chevy Silverado. Now get 0% financing for 72 months plus $500 cash allowance on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
I've been working out at the Princeton Club for 8 years. I work in the outdoor industry, specifically in the bow hunting field. If you're going on a mountain hunt, it's certainly not an easy adventure. Climbing up a mountain in Montana with 60, 70 pounds in your back is not something easy. I have 2 kids that are 11 and 13, and I always want to be one of those parents that's not sitting on the sidelines. I work out at the Princeton Club to set a positive example for my family and to enjoy my profession to the fullest, which means being in shape for the hunts I attend.
Cobeson Buses, now hiring.
After we backed that bus out of its stall and started driving, I just loved it. We really get a chance to get to know each other. Almost everyone has a different story about how they came to bus driving, so you really end up feeling like you're part of a family.
Visit Cobeson.com to apply.
Welcome back at 6:23. Time for My Morning, and Jennifer Harris posted this of a crowning glory sunrise in Ridgeway, Wisconsin. Look at that.
That's super nice. Love to see the sun there.
That's like a very picturesque. I've never heard of the crowning glory sunrise before.
I've never heard that term either, but it's really pretty.
Oh, I love that.
I'll take any sunrise that I can
Seriously?
get, right? This time of the year. Well, state emergency officials are asking you to take an extra step when you set all of your clocks ahead this weekend.
Yeah, ready Already, Wisconsin is sending out a reminder to everyone to also test your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors and replace those batteries. That should be done at least twice a year, so doing it when you change your clocks can make it easier to remember. Emergency management also says that it's an important opportunity to make sure that you have everything you need in case of an emergency. You can get those supply kits as we get closer to severe weather season going as well. So that's what we're talking about this morning. We're asking you to sound off on Facebook. Do you struggle when turning your clocks ahead for daylight saving time in the spring? Or right now, yes, 65% of you are saying yes, and I am definitely one of those people. I don't know about you, though.
Yeah, it's always so weird for the first couple of days after you turn the clocks ahead. I mean, it stinks losing any hours of sleep, but then, you know, you just have this internal clock that's off a little bit.
Well, and like the daylight gets me, too. It's like we go to bed pretty early, and it's going to be lighter in the evening now, so it's going to be a little...
We need to use those room darkening shades
or
starting
like
Sunday.
What are they called? The little face masks? We'll go on Facebook and sound off for us. We'd love to know what you're thinking.
Yeah, we're about the only people in the world that are sad that it's staying light out later, though. I can tell you that. Well, we have a check of your first warned weather forecast. We have Harley, our pet walk forecast this morning, all snuggled up in the blanket. That's not a bad place to be this morning. 37 is the high today. The coolest day of the week, but we'll have lighter winds and more sunshine this afternoon, so it actually should be pretty nice. Take a live look in Platteville this morning. It's already clearing there. That little bit of cloud cover you see on the horizon is the cloud cover that we're under right now in Madison. Your bust-up weather forecast has temperatures, again, climbing to highs in the upper 30s today. That's pretty normal for this time of the year. We do have much warmer weather in the forecast for the upcoming weekend. And speaking of warmer temperatures, rain is back in the forecast on Monday. Might be kind of a wet day, so if you don't know where your umbrella is, you have the weekend to find it because you'll likely need it on Monday. We do have a couple of chances for precipitation next week. Wednesday may turn a little cooler, so we could see a mix on Wednesday.
I'm gonna have to find that umbrella. I don't even know where it's at. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back, everyone.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's perfect. Thank you for choosing our home. Here's a list of our favorite spots to help you live like a local. And here is our Spectrum Wi-Fi password and a channel guide to help you settle in.
Did you say Spectrum?
Experience the fastest starting speeds for the price with Spectrum Internet. At 200 megabits per second, you'll enjoy faster surfing, streaming, and gaming. Switch to Spectrum Internet for $44.99 a month. Call 833-902-4499. Then lose yourself in the best in entertainment with more HD and more free on demand. With thousands of free titles to choose from and the best in live TV, there's always something on. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Plus, download the Spectrum TV app for more ways to watch. Call 833-902-4499.
It happened again. You guys were supposed to leave yesterday.
Is that my robe?
Is it?
Lose yourself in the best internet and TV with Spectrum. Switch now from $44.99 a month each, all with no contracts. Call 833-902-4499.
From kids to pets and parties, we'll lay the groundwork for all of life's awesome moments. This is Tom Coyle. My family and I say thank you. We're proud to have been a part of this community for 75 years. During our 75th anniversary event, standard carpet installation is just $75. Carpet 1 room, 3 rooms, even your whole house, and installation is only $75. Coyle Carpet 1 Floor and Home, locally owned and operated since 1945.
Wow, you ready? Yeah, let me just grab my wallet.
Uh-oh, I've seen this before. Wallet way too big, skinny jeans too skinny.
I'll just carry it.
Before you break something, you should know you don't actually need a wallet. With BMO Harris, you can just take cash out with your phone. Or if you need to, you can pay them with Zelle. That works? Yeah. You're stuck, aren't you?
Smile.
Woo! Those jeans are way too tight.
That feeling you get when no wallet is no big deal. That's the BMO effect.
I became an orthopedic surgeon for a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
To help you take walks again.
To ease your pain.
To rebuild your strength. And at every step along the way,
we take the time to answer all your questions.
We're here because we care.
We care about you.
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 They care about me.
SHOPKO Prairie HEALTHCARE Orthopedics. Listening, healing, caring.
It's in our nature.
The all-new Silverado HD adds to the legendary capability of the strongest, most advanced Silverados ever. With best-in-class camera technology and larger, more functional beds than any competitor. The only truck that can compare to a Silverado is another Silverado.
Truck month is the right time to get behind the wheel of the Chevy Silverado. Now get 0% financing for 72 months plus $500 cash allowance on all Silverado 1500 crew cab pickups. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Right now, we're tracking new data this morning as a majority of nurses say hospitals aren't as prepared as they need to be to manage the coronavirus.
And strong northerly winds have been howling all night across southern Wisconsin, but improving weather is in the forecast for today. I'll have all the details in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Thanks for staying with us on this Friday, March 6th. I'm Josh Breiter. Lee is on vacation. We hope to learn more this morning about the results of the 14 pending cases of coronavirus in Wisconsin. There are more than 220 confirmed cases across the U.S. right now and nearly 100,000 worldwide. More than 3,000 people have been killed by the virus so far, 12 of those here in the U.S. When you break down the mortality rate by age group, you can see the populations of people who are most vulnerable. For people ages 50 to 60, that rate is 1 to 3%. 60 to 70 years old is 3.6%, and 70 to 80 years old jumps up to 8%. Over the age of 80, it's actually 15%.
The difficulty with mortality rate numbers is usually when an epidemic starts, mortality rates are actually projected as higher than what they really are. And the reason for that is it's a lot easier to identify sick people than it is to identify folks who are infected but are not sick.
Jeffrey Potoff says studies from China show those who have underlying diseases are also more at risk. There wasn't enough data to show statistics for pregnant women. And as for those who are healthy, Potoff says risk is still low in Madison. New this morning, nurses are raising red flags about how hospitals are responding to the coronavirus. A new survey of more than 6,500 nurses shows hospitals in the U.S. are unprepared to protect staff and isolate patients because of shortfalls in the safety equipment, planning, and communication. Mother Jones reports fewer than half of the responding nurses have gotten information from their employers about how to recognize and respond to potential cases. Less than a third say their employers have enough equipment to protect staff in the case of a surge of infections. A Grand Princess cruise ship is still floating off the California coast this morning, banned by that state's governor from docking until the 45 passengers and crew members with flu-like symptoms are tested for coronavirus. Take a look at its current location. This is updated every few minutes. If you look towards the bottom of your screen, the Grand Princess is the blue icon. Right now, it's off the coast of San Francisco, where it hopes to eventually dock. These measures come after a traveler from the ship's previous trip died of the virus, and at least 2 others were infected. A Coast Guard helicopter lowered test kits onto that ship yesterday. Authorities say the results from those tests will be available later today. The Department of Homeland Security says it has denied entry to more than 240 people within the past month because of fears over the coronavirus. Between February 2nd and March 3rd, 14 were turned away at airports and another 227 at land ports. Another 106 foreign nationals were denied entry before getting to the U.S. at pre-clearance airports, where U.S. Customs officials screen them. The department is subject to the Trump administration's travel restrictions from China and Iran as an effort to contain the virus. And as those number of cases of deaths from the virus increase across the country, federal health officials are expanding testing for the outbreak. Vice President Mike Pence acknowledges there is a shortfall in the number of testing kits required to meet the current demand in the U.S. New guidance issued by the CDC formalized a previous announcement from Pence saying any American with a doctor's order can be tested. That removes earlier restrictions that limited testing for the virus to people who had been hospitalized with a fever or someone who had close contact with a confirmed patient. An $8.3 billion spending package for the government's response to coronavirus is now headed to President Trump's desk. The Senate nearly unanimously approved the bill, which provides an additional $500 million in mandatory spending to fund the health program. The White House originally requested $2.5 billion, but the president said the government will now spend whatever is needed. All right, coming up on 6:34 now, Hattie's here with A look at that wind, and wow, some of those gusts out there this morning, Heads, are unbelievable.
Yeah, over the last 24 hours, we've seen gusts in the 30 to 40 mile an hour range across southern Wisconsin. Our peak wind gust here in Madison was 39 miles an hour, and a 40 mile an hour wind gust in Platteville. Here's a look at your wind forecast. Unfortunately, if it's your garbage day, I'm really sorry. Your garbage can is probably going to be in your neighbor's yard. We still have pretty strong winds through the morning hours. They will be diminishing, though, this afternoon, so improving weather conditions. Already those wind advisories, though, have been allowed to expire, so no current advisories for southern Wisconsin. Our current wind speeds are really beginning to diminish, especially west of Dane County, where some locations have wind speeds closer to 10 miles an hour. As you still look to the east, those wind speeds along the lakeshore are in the 20 to 25 mile an hour range. That is generating a little bit of a wind chill this morning. It feels like it's in the teens across most of southern Wisconsin. As those winds diminish, though, we'll see a nice improvement on those wind chill numbers. We'll be back to feeling like it's around freezing later on this afternoon. So here's a look at your future track wind forecast. That'll be the main story today. Winds still strong out of the north as you head to work and school. By lunchtime, those winds in the 10 to 15 mile an hour range, and then really seeing some diminishing trends through the afternoon. By 5 p.m., we're looking at wind speeds in the 5 to 10 mile an hour range. Now, in addition, look for some clearing. We still have some cloud cover here in Madison. Your future track forecast, though, taking those clouds pretty quickly off to the east. So for the afternoon, we're looking at temperatures climbing through the 30s into the upper 30s with sunny skies. Temperatures will then cool down quite a bit tonight. Skies will remain clear during the overnight hours. We're looking at temperatures falling back into the lower 20s, but a pretty quick warm-up is expected on Saturday. Pretty windy again, but this time a south wind, so we'll bump into the 50s on Saturday and then 60s on Sunday. Don't forget, you got to turn those clocks ahead 1 hour Saturday night before you go to bed. Let's take a look at your first warn traffic maps this morning. No major issues. There is a stalled vehicle on the Beltline, though. This would be on the eastbound side, I believe, at Whitney Way. The right shoulder is blocked. No other issues, but with that strong north wind still this morning, east-west roadways will be most affected. So if you're driving a high-profile vehicle, it's a two hands on the wheel kind of day.
Yeah, that's for sure. And average highs right now are around 38 degrees, right?
Yeah, so today is normal.
Yep.
This weekend, well above normal.
We like well above normal this time of the year.
That's true, we do.
Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
Right now, Senator Mitt Romney says an investigation led by Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson seems to be politically motivated. You remember the probe is looking into Democratic candidate Joe Biden's son and his involvement with the Ukrainian gas company. Romney told reporters the probe would be better pursued by the FBI or another federal agency if there was something of significance that needs to be evaluated. Reuters reports Johnson could issue the first subpoena in the investigation soon. President Trump was impeached on 2 charges after asking Ukraine to investigate the Bidens back in July. With Elizabeth Warren out of the 2020 presidential race, her supporters are looking for a new candidate to support. Now the director for the Marquette Law School poll is out with a closer look at how her voters could divide themselves in Wisconsin. Based off of people polled in January and February, 44% of voters whose first choice was Warren would now support Bernie Sanders. 13% would support Joe Biden. The most recent Marquette poll also focuses on who voters support based on their age in the Badger State. In February, 68% of voters polled who were between the ages of 18 and 29 said they'd support Sanders, compared to 22% of people between 49 and 59 years old. Nationally, that trend is similar, but Biden is the favorite of older voters, taking 40% of the vote from people 45 or older, compared to Sanders' 18%. The impact age has on the election will depend on how many young voters turn out. U.S. Census data shows only about 46% of voters under 40 go out and vote, while more than 70% of retirement age voters make it to the polls. With just a month until Wisconsin's primary election, UW-Madison is making sure its young voters are ready to cast their ballots starting today. Christina Laurie joins us live from campus with everything we need to know. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Josh. Young voters could make all the difference come November, but first this April. That's why today, Voterpalooza is happening here on the campus. And for more on that, we're going to go to Tess Eiting. Thank you so much for waking up early. I know this is especially early for college students. So why should people turn out for Voterpalooza today? What is it?
So Voterpalooza is just this huge campaign to try to get as many students to register for voting, especially with the April primaries coming up. And basically, we just think it's important that more students get out there to vote, and not only students that are politically active, but ones that maybe don't know as much about these upcoming elections. And we just want students of all majors, of all backgrounds to come out, register to vote, understand the importance of voting, and get a better grasp of exactly where their polling place might be.
And it's 2020. It's been 100 years since women have been able to vote. So I know it's hard to believe.
Yeah, but it's so exciting. I mean, it's such an important thing, and I didn't even realize it was 100 years, but that's such a thrilling thing to realize, I guess.
Have you voted before?
Yes, I have voted before. I usually do absentee ballots for my hometown, but I always make sure to get my ballot in time.
And your hometown is still in the state of Wisconsin. We want to clarify.
It's still in the state of Wisconsin, yes. It's in the Milwaukee area in Wauwatosa.
Well, thank you so much, Tess, for talking to us about the importance of voting. And if anyone is watching this, if you're a student, if you're already awake, first, congratulations. It's 6:30 in the morning. That's an accomplishment in and of itself. But if you want to come out to Voterpalooza, 11:30 to 3:30 today, make sure you bring an ID and a proof of residence with you in order to register to vote. And I'll send it back to you, Josh.
Christina Laurie live from campus. Christina, thank you. New this morning, a video posted on social media shows a swastika flag briefly being shown at a Bernie Sanders rally in Phoenix, Arizona last night. CNN reports the person hanging the flag was immediately removed from the event. A representative for the Jewish presidential candidate says he didn't see it but was told about it after the fact and was disturbed. Former candidate Andrew Yang is moving into political nonprofit work, starting a new group in hopes of cementing his ideas into the political mainstream. BuzzFeed News reports Humanity Forward will support projects and pilots of Democratic candidates who embody Yang's vision, especially when it comes to his main policy idea from the 2020 campaign trail, which was universal basic income. Representatives say group's work will be centered on making UBIA a reality. Well, as we warm up this weekend, we'll tell you why a local golf course is looking for your input, and the results from a federal investigation into a Wisconsin hospital under fire following a woman's death. We'll be right back.
The OBGYN team at Associated Physicians wants you to know that we are here to focus on you. Call us for an appointment today at 233-9746.
Big insurance companies often use their size to take advantage of injured people making a claim. At Habish, Rotier, we don't think this is fair. So we've built our personal injury law practice to do everything possible to level the playing field. Because it shouldn't be about who's the biggest. It should be about what's right. Habish, Rotier. We fight for what's right.
Your eyes are everything. They're how you see the world and connect with others. At SHOPKO Optical, your eyes are everything to us too, which is why we offer everything to help you see better and look better. A huge selection of designer frames, convenient locations, and experienced optometrists. We're SHOPKO Optical. You'll see. Right now, get 30% off frames with any lens purchase.
Golden Cars is starting off the new year with a bang. Many vehicles priced under $99.95 or $155 per month.
Get a 2015 Hyundai Elantra for only $89.95 or $139 per month.
Or a 2015 Jeep Patriot for only $89.95 or $139 per month.
Or a 2010 Acura TSX for $99.95 or $155 per month.
Many vehicles to choose from for under $99.95 or $155 per month.
Go to Golden Cars, east or west.
You gotta go to Goldman, GoldmanCars.com.
Our home is the train
Bound for Her Dreams policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
After 30 years, Wisconsin Craft Market is closing its doors forever. Get unbelievable craft deals now. Shop our going out of business sale. Hurry in for the best selection at Wisconsin Craft Market.
Follow us on all your favorite social media sites and never miss a thing. Share your photos and comments with us and stay connected.
This election season, politicians are targeting Wisconsin, making promises and claims to capture your vote. But you deserve the truth. Only Reality Check gives you the tools you need to make informed choices. I'm News 3 Now political reporter Amy Reed. I'm breaking down political ads, explaining whose money is behind them and separating truth from misinformation. Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
As we come back, we have an update to breaking news we've been following all morning. We're learning 5 police officers are now dead after a suicide bombing near the U.S. Embassy in Tunisia. Again, all of this info just coming in this morning. We'll have the latest coming up in our morning sprint. A Milwaukee woman's death after a lengthy wait at the ER is triggering a federal investigation from the Department of Health and Human Services. Shauna Ward went to the emergency room at Freighter Hospital in January. An x-ray found an enlarged heart, but more than 2 hours later, Ward left, never having been seen by a doctor, and died later that night. The DHS looked at the cases of 20 patients at the hospital and found 7 of them, including Ward, weren't checked on as often as they should have been under hospital policy. Despite the deficiencies that were found, the report concluded that the hospital was in substantial compliance, allowing the hospital to continue receiving federal funding. The hospital responded with a statement saying, in part, there was no failure in the reassessments of patients. The reassessments were delayed due to high capacity. A man will be taken to the Juneau County Jail after he's released from the hospital after a homeowner shot him during a suspected break-in. 21-year-old Todd Parker is accused of breaking into a home after trying to get into a business in Mather. Officials say the homeowner confronted Parker and locked the door after he left. Then Parker tried to break in again. The homeowner shot him several times after Parker broke a door. He was airlifted to the hospital and is still recovering. All right, 6:46 is your time. Hattie's here now, and we've got a beautiful sunrise on this Friday, Hattie.
That's right, Josh. So take a look behind me, the Queen Bee Radio Sky Camera in Platteville, showing you clear skies there. The sun is up this morning. We have a little bit more cloud cover here in Madison, but our skies will be clearing as well. So your bus stop weather forecast has high temperatures in the upper 30s today with sunshine. It's pretty typical for this time of the year. Here's a look at your temperatures, though, for the weekend. Saturday will be mild. Highs will be in the 50s. We'll only drop back into the 40s overnight, and then we're expected to climb once again into the 60s on Sunday. Now, if we top at 60 or higher on Sunday, that'll actually be a little bit ahead of schedule. We normally see our first 60-degree day here in Madison in the end of March, March 23rd. If you're looking for those 70s, we typically have to wait until the first week of April, and then for 80s, we're waiting until the first week of May. So a little bit to go yet, but a nice warm-up expected for the upcoming weekend. Coming up, we'll take a look ahead at that next week's forecast. It does include quite a bit of rain, so find that umbrella.
All right, Hattie, thank you. This weekend's weather would be the perfect time for a round of golf, but before that season officially kicks off, a local golf courses task force is looking for your input. The group in Madison is discussing what to do with the 4 city-owned courses. They've struggled recently, losing considerable amounts of money over the past few years. The task force is weighing 4 options, including possibly closing some of the courses and downsizing the number of holes. The next public meetings will be March 18th and April 15th and 29th. All of these are taking place at the Goodman Maintenance Facility. There's also an online survey that can be taken through the end of March. The task force has until May 1st to come up with a recommendation to present to the City Council. All right, it is 6:48 right now, and coming up in the morning sprint, we're following that breaking update on a developing situation in the Middle East, where at least 5 officers were hurt in a suicide bombing near U.S. Embassy. But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV. This is News 3 Now this morning. We'll be right back.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
It's the big Hy-Vee snack sale this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Chex Mix, Jolly Time popcorn, Hy-Vee chips, Totino's pizza and pizza rolls are just $1. Plus save on other great snacks. Stock up during the big snack sale only at Hy-Vee.
Not just better, it's the best Outback ever. The new 2020 Subaru Outbacks are at Don Miller. You'll get the Outback Advantage with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and EyeSight driver assist technology. Now with the Subaru A Lot to Love event, lease the Outback Premium, $249 per month, 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, no security deposit, $1949 due at signing, or choose 0.9% financing. The Outback at Don Miller Subaru, west on Odana or east side, High Crossing Boulevard, Madison.
Don Miller. Have you heard? Tempur-Pedic sleep is better sleep. With innovative memory foam developed by NASA, Tempur-Pedic mattresses reduce motion transfer, which means less tossing and turning so you can sleep undisturbed through the night. But which Tempur-Pedic is right for you? Come to Denver Mattress and test for yourself. Let our expert sales staff guide you to your perfect Tempur-Pedic. And right now, get a free Furniture Row gift certificate when you purchase any Tempur-Pedic. Shop Denver Mattress today, your Tempur-Pedic elite retailer.
From kids to pets and parties, we'll lay the groundwork for all of life's awesome moments. This is Tom Coyle. My family and I say thank you. We're proud to have been a part of this community for 75 years. During our 75th anniversary event, standard carpet installation is just $75. Carpet 1 room, 3 rooms, even your whole house, and installation is only $75. Coyle Carpet 1 Floor and Home, locally owned and operated since 1945.
Update your appliances and get 11% off everything now at Menards. Menards has the largest in-stock appliance selection to take home today at the lowest prices. From the moment you bring home your groceries to doing the last load of laundry, Whirlpool appliances are there to make your life easier. Right now, over 1,000 appliances are on sale. Plus, get an additional 11% off. Save big money and get 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
The all-new Silverado HD adds to the legendary capability of the strongest, most advanced Silverados ever. With best-in-class camera technology and larger, more functional beds than any competitor, the only truck that can compare to a Silverado is another Silverado.
Truck month is the right time to get behind the wheel of the Chevy Silverado. Now get 0% financing for 72 months plus $500 cash allowance on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Don't miss the big Hy-Vee snack sale this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Cheez-Its, assorted crackers, Boom Chicka Pop, and Little Bites muffins are just $2. Plus save on other great snacks. Stock up during the big snack sale only at Hy-Vee.
Go to Amazon.com skills to enable Channel 3000 news briefs.
It is 6:51, time for the morning sprint, and we start with an update to breaking news overseas this morning. The Associated Press is rescinding a previous report saying a suicide bomber in Tunisia killed 5 police officers at the U.S. Embassy. Those officers are still alive this morning. 2 people on a motorcycle reportedly set off that bomb. The U.S. Embassy page for Tunisia posted saying emergency personnel are responding and to avoid the area.
We know that as you get older, your risk of having coronavirus or having more severe coronavirus increases.
14 cases of coronavirus are pending in Wisconsin this morning. More than 3,000 people worldwide have died so far because of it, with 12 here in the U.S. These are the current mortality rates broken down by age. For people 50 to 60, the mortality rate is 1 to 3%. 60 to 70 is 3.6%, and 70 to 80-year-old jumps to 8%, with those over the age of 80 at 15%. Nurses are raising red flags about how hospitals are responding to the virus. A new survey of more than 6,500 nurses shows hospitals in the U.S. are unprepared to protect staff and isolate patients because of shortfalls in safety equipment, planning, and communication. Mother Jones reports fewer than half of the responding nurses have gotten information from their employers about how to recognize and respond to potential cases. With Elizabeth Warren out of the 2020 presidential race, her supporters are now looking for a new candidate to support. The director for the Marquette Law School poll is out with a closer look at how her voters could divide themselves in Wisconsin. Based off of people polled in January and February, 44% of voters whose first choice was Warren would now support Bernie Sanders. Meanwhile, 13% would support Joe Biden.
Get ready, get registered. That's the purpose behind today's Voter Palooza event here on the UW-Madison campus. This event is where students can get registered to vote from 11:30 until 3:30 at Union South, East Campus Mall, or here on Library Mall. Voter Palooza is organized by the Associated Students of Madison Group as a way to energize students and build on the momentum from the midterms to reach even higher voter turnout this April. You'll need an ID and proof of residence to register, and if you're unsure of your current status, you can check that at the link I posted up on our website, channel3000.com. Josh.
Christina, thank you. A video posted on social media shows a swastika flag briefly being shown at a Bernie Sanders rally in Phoenix last night. CNN reports the person hanging the flag was immediately removed from that event. A representative for the Jewish presidential candidate says he didn't see it but was told about it after the fact and was disturbed.
There must be some multi-level solutions.
Russia's interference in our elections are continuing in 2020. A new report published by UW-Madison professor Mi Kim shows Kremlin-linked groups are in our Facebook feeds right now. Professor Kim says she found anecdotal evidence that Russian-linked groups are placing ads in hopes of dividing Americans on issues we already have a hard time agreeing on. Facebook says it will start removing some Trump re-election campaign ads to prevent confusion about the upcoming U.S. Census. The company was criticized for letting the ads run, which asked people to respond now to what he calls an official congressional district census. It asks for age, name, contact information, and about views on President Trump, Nancy Pelosi, and the, quote, radical left agenda. This, again, is not the official census. Nearly 2 million Toyotas are now being recalled this morning. Fuel pump issues can cause your car to stall if you drive late-year models like the Highlander, Tacoma, Camry, and Corolla. Several versions of Toyota's high-end Lexus brand are also under that recall. Starting today, you can grab a free donut every Friday of the month from Dunkin'. They're giving away a free classic donut with the purchase of any drink. It's the latest escalation between food rivals for the breakfast battle. You have to order, though, through the Dunkin' app or with a linked credit or debit card to access the deal. Former Badger football player Russell Wilson will be recognized for his activism and leadership efforts later today. He'll get the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation Award of Excellence in Milwaukee. Over the last 5 years, Wilson's Why Not You Foundation has raised more than $8 million for the Strong Against Cancer initiative. Former honorees include Bart Starr, Hank Aaron, and Jim Kelly.
And a look at your first warned weather forecast. We have a view from our WICTV sky camera looking to the west as skies are already starting to clear. You can still see that camera shaking around a little bit. Temperatures will top in the upper 30s today. Lots of sunshine and lighter winds this afternoon. We do have rain in the forecast, and it comes Monday morning for southern Wisconsin. Looks like it could be a pretty wet day for the area, so find that umbrella as we get ready to get into next week. Let's not forget about the weekend, though. Hope you have a chance to get outside. We have very nice conditions with temperatures that will be much warmer than normal.
All right, Hattie, thank you. Make it a great weekend, everyone.